someone can be penalized for doing all the right things, going out, working long hours, building a business or building a career, with a spouse that's, staying at home and taking care of the children, and that their time with their kids post-separation is actually limited because they're required to work at a level to provide for the family that they did previously. Yeah. It's like, well, that was when we had a team, so, any of those things. I'm
Doesn't matter.
I'll get to a soundbite eventually.
We roll on, or?
So just have a conversation.
Okay, perfect. No, this is good. I'm more interested to know, I've never been in the courtroom. I assume it's a battle, but how much of it is it by the book? In sports, it's okay, you score a touchdown, that's 2 points, or whatever, that's 7 points.
Right.
It's very black and white. When you're in those courtrooms, how much of it is perception and mindset and how you paint a picture?
And painting the picture is the exact way that you want to describe it. Even going into your initial declaration is setting the stage, letting the judge know that these facts don't exist in a vacuum, that there's real people and there's real personalities here, and giving them an insight into, well, what's our history been, what's the status quo been in our family? Because really, when we're talking about child custody, we're talking about stability and continuity in the child's life, right? In providing that. And so that's where it gets difficult again, is where a judge will say, all right, well, you've been working 60 hours a week and mom's been the principal caretaker of the children, so I'm just going to continue this post-separation, right? And you have to point out to them, yeah, but I came home every day. My client came home every day and he bathed the kids. He was there for the kids. He spent all the time. He didn't go to a bar. Yeah. He didn't go out partying with his friends. He came home every day. And so to take that away and say, all right, you can't see the kids midweek, to take that away, it's a fundamental unfairness because they're being penalized for doing things correct. They were a team, they were a partnership, right? Yeah. But that dad still, even if he was working all the time, he still was there for his children every day, right? And so you have to point that out. You can't just say, well, he worked long hours. Well, what's the context though? What time did he leave? Did he come back? Yeah. Was he on the phone with the kids? Was he, supportive of the kids? Did he help them with their homework every day? Did he take time off to go to their events? Did he coach their sports teams? What was the context? You can't just reduce this person to money, that they're just, okay, well, you have to continue out and work and then come home to your sad apartment because your wife's living in the house with the kids. It's not fair. It's a fundamental unfairness. And so, I always struggle with describing to people the context of a courtroom, because in family law and custody, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, right? This isn't math. Yeah. Each case and each family is different. Each judge is different. Each courtroom is different. And that's why you need a good lawyer that understands the system and the boundaries there, that shows them, all right, I need to make you human to this judge, right? Yeah. Not a number. Not just another case to move along and move forward, because these judges want to get cases done. They want their cases to be pushed and to be finished, right? So they don't like it when you humanize it. Not that they don't like it, but it stops them from moving the case along.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, because this is separate, but I'm gonna get back to it. When you walk in there, because I go on stage or something, I get a little nervous. Do you ever get nervous before you walk into it?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think, you get less and less as you go on. By the thousandth time you're in court, I can remember the first time I was in court, I went in front of a very well-known judge who basically wrote the book on family law, Judge Trent Lewis in downtown LA. And I was so just nervous about saying my client's name right? And I remember the judge ruled against me. It was on a joinder of a bunch of corporations into our case. And the judge ruled against me, and I can remember feeling my leg starting to shake, right? Yeah. And and I had to force it down. But even now, when I know I'm going into a really big trial, an important trial, I bleed for my clients. I really do. I care. Okay. It's not just wanting to win.
Yeah. What does that mean, you bleed for them? What is that?
I feel it emotionally. When they lose, I feel like I lose, right? When they win, I feel like I've won. There's nothing better than providing a good result in court. Because It's a game. It's a tough game. You have especially when you've got an attorney on the other side, a very sharp person on the other side. And it's like, I'm trying to build my case brick by brick, and he's trying, or she's trying, to take that wall down. So I'm building and they're trying to take me down, and then we flip. So it is, if you've played sports, it is like a big game.
Yeah.
And it's all the time. So yeah, you get nervous. I get an upset stomach sometimes.
That's good to know. Like, that means you care. And to that point, so there's a thing of like mastery, right? Like, or this idea that when you truly live a good life, it is to not be able to differentiate play and like work, right? So you're at work, but to you, it doesn't feel like work. Does this feel like work for you, or is it just a natural flow state at all times?
I mean, I think it is a job because there are so many considerations in there. But when I'm in court or when I'm in the hallway, it's just people, and it does come naturally to me. It does feel like work because there's so many rules, like in complying with those rules, because it's equally important. You can't have your day in court if you don't get the rules right, right? If you don't file the correct things, if you're, you do have to jump through a lot of hoops in the law. So it is work in that bit. But, to me, it's all about the anticipation is where I get nervous. Once I'm in it, it's just rolling in it, and it feels very comfortable.
Got it.
And when I was early in my career, I would write down every question, right? And I'd go on it. Now I just work off of topics, right? Okay. So I'll have 8 things that I know I need to get done or need to move in.
Okay.
And then I'll free flow after that, because to me, being a good trial advocate is being in the moment. You don't want to be thinking about what you're saying next. You need to be listening to the witness, to opposing counsel. You need to be watching the judge, seeing how they're reacting to certain things. So you have to be present. It can't be about, well, I'm just waiting so I can say my next thing, right? It is about being focused and present and in the moment. And that's what I try to also have my clients, is because they get so upset when they hear a lie or something that's untrue. And so that's all they hear, and they're not listening to everything else. And so that's where I really try to focus my clients and myself, is to be in the moment at all times.